the takeaway is?
Well, listen, I think the takeaway should be that Americans should be a little bit scared about what's going on right now. I mean, when you hear this stuff going on, you don't think of this happening in the United States. You don't think of this happening in a country where we have a foundation of laws and principles grounded in the Constitution. Because this, to me, seems like a clear violation of that. You have a court that virtually no one knows anything about, just haphazardly granting full surveillance of American citizens, in this case, the duly elected future president of the United States, based on shady information paid for by the opposition party's candidate in that presidential race. I mean, this is crazy stuff.
It does seem outside the bounds of what the law was written to allow, and yet it is allowed under the law, and that law was just reauthorized by the Republican-controlled Congress with very little debate. Why do you think that was?
You know, I don't know, but I think they probably want to revisit that after seeing all of this. I mean, a lot's changed since we last spoke about this basically 10 days ago, and that had happened just before this. But I think, you know, as an American citizen, to see this stuff going on, to try to subvert democracy this way, based on these characters and these people who are so biased, and flagrantly so, that is scary. I mean, it's one thing if you're doing it in a sort of bipartisan system, but that's not at all what we have here.
So this, all the things that we're talking about were allegedly committed by employees of the executive branch, which is now the Trump executive branch.
Yes.
So what's the solution going forward? How do you fix this?
You know, I don't know. I think we have to open everything up. You know, listen to the Democratic memo. I'm sure that'll be a winner, given that Schiff is doing this and everything he's been spreading for a long time. But you can see the fear in their eyes, because the one thing is we've always been in a very one-sided battle, right? Because the Republicans can have their talking points, and there is bias there, obviously, as well. But when you have the mainstream media so willing to sell for the other side, so willing to go to battle for anything the other side says, so willing to take whatever they say and just say, you know what, that is the gospel. There's nothing else that could contest what this person is saying. That's where it starts to get scary to me. So I say open it all up. But let's see the FISA court transcripts. Let's see everything that went into this, because I think once all of that comes out, not just the rebuttal that they've had weeks to be able to say this is how we're going to counter it, but let's see those court transcripts, because I want to know what that judge saw when they reauthorized it. All this stuff was based on Carter Page, and yet it was reauthorized numerous times after Carter Page was not even a part of the campaign anymore. So what is their basis for the ongoing investigation?
So the